Todd Houghton here at Houghton Physical Therapy here in Attleboro, Massachusetts for another episode of Facebook Live, episode number 54, which is a sequel to last week's episode. The top 5 treatment techniques to keep shoulder pain away for good in the throwing athlete. So in this video, you're going to learn why the posture, your fuse box, the lack of consistent follow through with these simple exercises are what is causing or could lead to permanent damage in your shoulder. Who is out there? Please let me know. Please feel free to let me know what town or what area you're calling, what area you're tuning in from. And please also feel free to tag someone if you think that this might be helpful or useful to them. So last week we talked about the 5 most common shoulder injuries. Number 1, throwing injuries. Number 1 would be a slap tear. Number 2, biceps tendonitis or bicep tear. Number 3, rotator cuff tendonitis. Number 4, internal impingement of the shoulder. And number 5, shoulder instability. So what do I think about this? Well, it is my belief that all upper body injuries are related to poor spine health. What does that mean? Well, I'm going to tell you what excellent spine health is. Excellent spine health is when your overall neck, mid-back, low back mobility and stability will lead to your arms and your legs working properly. So by just being mobile, being active and moving and doing the right things. So when you go to see a physical therapist, or get some treatment, what is the first typical treatment that they will do for shoulder or upper arm injuries? Well, number 1, they're going to do probably pec stretching. They're going to work on wrist and elbow stretches. They're going to do some massage, some grass, and some dry needling to the anterior shoulder, strengthen the rotator cuff, and hopefully some core work. Through my eyes, I believe that we should always start with the cause of the problem and not the symptom of the problem. What do I mean by that? They may be doing the right exercises or the right things, but in the wrong sequence. If I give you a map, how to get to a town in your area, you know how to get there really easy if you know your correct starting point. If you don't know your correct starting point and you're in another state and you have the same map, it's not going to be as useful. So doing the right things at the wrong time never works out, so we need to do them in the right sequence. So what do I feel is the problem? With 100% certainty, as being a physical therapist for 24 years, that all throwing injuries as a result of something up the chain. It's not the wrist, not the elbow, not the shoulder. I'm going to say it's always a lack of neck stability. What do I mean by that? And it's also a lack of thoracic spine mobility, which is your upper back. So where do we start? So the first thing we want to do is we want to educate people about their posture. So I'm going to talk about the fuse box that I've been working on for a while. And the fuse box powerhouses all the plugs. What does that mean? In a house, the fuse box powers all the plugs in your house, which you can plug in to your outlets, run the microwave, charge your phone. And if we lose power, if we have a bad plug, what's going to happen? We're going to lose power to the plug and it's not going to work. In the house, when we turn off the fuse box completely, then we lose all the power and nothing works in the house, just like a power outage. How does that relate to the body? Well, the fuse box in the body, it powers the nerves. What do nerves do? They do basically 3 things. The first thing they do is they tell us where there's pain, sensation, give us sensation, and also give us juice or power to the muscles or the body to work. What do I consider plugs? In the upper body, I'm going to say the fuse box is anything related to the neck, in front of the spine, behind the spine, the abs and the glutes. And the upper body, I'm going to say the plugs are the shoulders, the elbows, the wrist, and the fingers. So when the fuse box is turned on and everything is working functionally and the body is in perfect alignment or in good alignment, we're going to have no pain, normal sensation, and normal strength or power to everything. When the fuse box is turned off by slouching, bad posture, or having the body not in good alignment, we're going to get numbness, weakness, and also pain. How do we lose power? Pretty simple, posture. Enormous thing, so simple to do. But anyway, that is how we lose the power by slouching, which a lot of people do. You sit throughout the day at work, or you spend a long time in the car. You're setting yourself up for injuries if you're going to go to the gym right after work. So for physical therapy treatment, where do we start? 5 simple things. Number 1 is we're going to find what is your starting point. So we want to assess the cervical spine. We want to look at the neck's mobility and stability. Is the neck mobile enough to function well? Is the posture good enough? And also, is the neck stable enough or strong enough with the deep neck flexors to be able to stabilize the spine as we're using the plugs, meaning we know the shoulders, the elbow, the wrist, and the fingers. We also look at the thoracic spine mobility. The mid-back is supposed to be a mobile piece. If it's not a mobile piece, the neck can't be stable and the low back can't be stable. We're also going to look at the shoulder blade depressors, the stabilizers, which is going to help stabilize the upper body when we're going to go function using your arms. Number 2 is we're going to look at the strength. Crucial to find the starting point. I've said this a ton of times, but we got to find the starting point again. Right exercise, wrong time, or something too advanced is going to set you on the road where you're not going to be successful. We want to look at the proper sequencing of motion, again, working everything from the spine, closest to the spine, proximal to distal. For the neck, we want to work on the deep neck flexors, we want to work on the scapular depressors, and then we want to work on the shoulder rotator cuff muscles. For the other core muscles, we want to work on the glutes, we want to work on the lumbar spine extensors and the abdominal muscles. Number 3 is we want to assess, not just look at, we want to assess the thoracic spine flexibility. Is it mobile? Is it a mobile piece? And how does it actually move? And look at the quality of the motion. Number 4 is we're going to go back to steps 1 to 3. We're going to test, retest. We're going to look at the mobility and the stability of the thoracic spine. We're going to look at their posture. We're going to look at the stabilizers for the strength. And then we're going to look at the flexibility. And then once all that's complete, number 5 is we want to start strengthening the full body. Even though you're coming in for a shoulder, I'm going to take a look at the whole body. We're going to work your whole core. We're going to work your whole fuse box, because we can prove that all that is going to be really important to having good spine health, which is going to really be important to having strength and stability in your shoulder and decrease your injury rate significantly. Hopefully this was helpful. Again, please feel free to reach out to me at todd@houghtonphysicaltherapy.com. Reach out to me on Facebook. See you next week. Thank you.